Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel, and today we have got a very unique video compared to my previous videos, because today we'll be talking about films instead of video games today. And the film that we are talking about today is Marvel Studios' Spider-Man 3. Now obviously the previous two films were Spider-Man Homecoming and Spider-Man Far From Home, all set within the MCU. And let's just say the next film is probably one of the most anticipated films in the upcoming MCU future for most fans of Marvel in general. And this is because of the absolute cliffhanger that the second Spider-Man film left us on, with Mysterio leaking Peter's identity right at the end of the film. Now we haven't seen anything like this on screen for Spider-Man, so it'll be very interesting to see what happens and whether he'll keep his identity a secret or he'll just let it be out there for the rest of the world. Now, if you are outside of the loop, you probably won't know this, but there is a lot of casting rumours and confirmations that have been going on the past month or so, which seems to be setting up a Spider-Verse. Now, don't get me wrong, I would love a live-action Spider-Verse with Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield's Spider-Mans coming into the same film, but I'm going to be completely honest with you, I do not want that to happen in Spider-Man 3. And this is because I want Peter Parker's story for the first 3 films that he's got to be finished and completed and have a whole arc, rather than just have a random Spider-Verse film cut in and ruin it. Because post-credit scene in Far From Home set up like a massive storyline which could be really interesting in terms of the future of Spider-Man in the MCU. But if they just go ahead and just set up a Spider-Verse whilst he's running away from the police or something straight after the events of Far From Home, then it just ruins the possibilities that they could have had in terms of story if they were just to jump straight into a Spider-Verse with no explanation. So what I would want to happen is for him to wrap up his story arc in the 3rd film, and then in a post-credit scene or right at the end of the film, he goes to see Doctor Strange and he introduces them to the other Spider-Men in the Spider-Verse. And who knows, we might even see our first look at live-action Miles Morales, which will be so cool after his success of his video game this year. Now, in the Disney Investor Day, which happened a few days ago now, Kevin Feige was talking about Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness and talking about all the cast that's involved and everything to do with the film. He also mentioned that it would connect to WandaVision, which comes out at the start of next year, and as well as Spider-Man 3. So that obviously teases that some sort of multiverse thing is going to be introduced in Spider-Man 3. Whether it's going to be the centre point of the film, we don't know, but I hope it isn't. Or if it's just a post-credit scene, which is ideally what I would want, we just don't know yet until we see the film. So obviously, those 3 Marvel projects seem to be a 3-arc story, starting with WandaVision, then Spider-Man 3, and ending in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, which comes out in summer of 2022. Now obviously, after this, after Spider-Man 3 and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, the best possible outcome is that Sony and Marvel continue to do Spider-Man films set in the MCU, and the next film I would want for Spider-Man is obviously a Spider-Verse film. Because of all the casting rumours and all these other cast members from previous Spider-Man films coming in for this one, it makes sense to have basically all of the Spider-Man films that have already been released connected into one film, to have this massive blockbuster Spider-Verse live action film, which could, if not be better than the animated Spider-Verse, which was also an amazing film. If they are able to live up to the standards that that film set, then it could be one of the greatest successful films of all time, pushing for that high spot of Endgame if it does well enough and is written well enough. Now before leaving, I do want to talk about the future of Spider-Man in the MCU, because obviously last year he had a bit of a sticky situation where Sony kind of took him back, and then they managed to resolve a deal where he would get Spider-Man 3 and appears in one other Marvel film. But there has been lots of rumours saying they will get another 6 films in the MCU and also appear in the Venom films. We just don't know exactly what's going to happen, but hopefully he stays for as long as possible, because realistically Spider-Man is best with other Marvel heroes around him, whilst also having his own story set in his own films. So hopefully Spider-Man stays in the MCU forever and we won't have any more problems with Sony. Now this would obviously be my ideal outcome, and I'm sure it's the same ideal outcome for a lot of other people who are interested in Spider-Man and stuff like that. So let me know what you think down in the comments down below, and if you agree, leave a like on the video, and if you want to see more MCU Spider-Man film discussions, then also leave a like on the video. That would be greatly appreciated. So again, thank you for watching, and leave a like on the video if you also want to see a MCU timeline or something like that, because I know there's a lot of confusion with the Marvel TV shows and stuff like that, so I might do a timeline discussion on what actually is in the MCU, but I don't know, that's up to you guys. So leave a like on the video if you do want to see that, and again, thank you guys for watching, sticking around, enjoying this content, and yeah, I will see you next week with another video. Thanks for watching again, and I'll see you next time.